hey, we're continuing with our, now you've got the contract, what are you gonna do? We've had our inspections and we're all set. We're just in a kind of a waiting period. But bear in mind, if you're getting a loan, that oftentimes the lender will ask for documents that you know you've already sent. Please just take a deep breath and send them again. This happens no matter, it seems, which lender you're using. You just need to repeat and send some things over again. So just be kind, do it again. It just helps get your loan done faster, and do it as quickly as possible. On the seller side, you don't have much to do but wait for that word that the appraisal came in good, and then you head to closing. Just get all of the repairs done in ample time and communicate with your realtor so that they know this is happening, and be sure and get receipts. Now, the buyer has some special things that they need to be aware of. One, do not quit your job. It seems like a logical thing to think of, but it happens. People do it. Oftentimes they'll give their notice and all of a sudden the boss says, hey, you know what? You might as well leave now. And there you go. You won't have your loan if you do that, or that happens to you. So you don't, either one of you do not want to quit your job. You don't want to buy a new car. You don't want to buy anything really of any substantial amount, because whether you know it or not, they pull your credit right before you close to make sure that nothing has changed from the time you applied to now. And if they see a big uptick in a bill, or a lot of money has gone out of your account, you paid cash for something big, it may mess up your ratios and you may not get the loan. So please be careful, and do not, above all, do not quit your job. If you're moving to this area and you're going to be getting a new job, if you can just be patient, you can talk to people, maybe put in your application. Don't actually quit your other job and plan on starting your job before you close. We need to be sure that you follow certain criteria. If that happens, sometimes they allow it if you're going in the same field, but it's a very slippery slope. So be sure you talk to the lender, get it approved ahead of time before you do anything, because it could really mess up your loan and then you wouldn't get the house. And we'd all be disappointed if that happened. So take care, no big purchases, especially those who are buying a rental cabin. You're excited, you know that you can improve the rents because you're going to put in different furniture, you're going to do some painting, put in a hot tub. You have great ideas and you want to get it lined up because you want to get it going. As soon as you close, you'd like to have the rents start rolling in, the people start booking. So you want to have it ready. You don't want to have a lot of downtime. Please don't do that. You can go look and pick it out. Don't order it. You may have to pay a substantial deposit, or they may go ahead and run your credit card. You never know. So just make your list on a piece of paper so that you could do it right after closing. That's fine. But do not do it before. So many people get excited. They order, they have things delivered that day. It's just not a good idea. Okay, so now that we got all that straight, and we're not going to be doing anything silly or foolish, then we need to, as we approach closing, assume we're going to close on the date stated on the contract, and then you want to call the electric company. As a seller, you want to call the electric company and let them know that there's going to be a transfer, and it should be on said date. Now, if you're closing on a Friday, you may have to leave the power on until Monday, because oftentimes the power company will make the new buyer bring a copy of the warranty deed before they'll transfer it. And of course, they've got to pay a deposit. And sometimes they allow that, to be done remotely. And other times they don't. They want you to come in with the warranty deed. So if they close late on Friday, they may not make it over to the electric company, especially if it's in another county, and it could end up, making them have to pay a connection fee, which is substantial, and we don't want to do that. We want to have a smooth transaction. So you want to give them a little leeway. May have to keep the power on till Monday. The buyers, you need to call power company, electric company, propane company, whoever and whatever. If it's a rental cabin, you also want to coordinate for the internet and such, and that can be kind of a touchy thing. So we do need to communicate with your realtor what your plan is. They'll get you all the phone numbers. You need to call and see what we can do to coordinate everything so it moves smoothly, because everybody wants everybody else to have the best. The seller doesn't want to have to hang on and keep paying for something they're not using, and the buyer wants to have everything going so that they can just get rolling with it, especially if it's a rental cabin. So just know that there'll be some communication here at the end to get that all coordinated. You want to do as much as possible ahead of time, but it does depend on how the gas and electric and all of that work. Sometimes they're very accommodating. They can do it, schedule it ahead of time, and all's well, and other times maybe not. So you just have to take it case by case. At any rate, that's about the end of any trauma you could have in getting your sale through. So it's been great. Glad you have the contract. Glad you're paying attention to all these things. And I know you're going to have a very smooth sale. So look forward to it. Be excited. Just be smart.